Alright guys, I'm here. It's been a while. The last couple days have been pretty busy. I don't have much time. I have to leave in about 20 minutes, so I'm going to make this quick. I am doing a live critique of a website. Let's go ahead and go to the site. See, this site here is the site I'm going to be critiquing. Just as a side note, I just want to say real quick that I have a Facebook group that I run. It's called Web Design Critique. If you go on there and you ask for feedback on your site, I may just reply, or I might actually make a video about your site. So I'll try to be cordial when I do that, but at the same time, critique is critical. So it's not always the most fun type of thing to hear. But if you go ahead and go to this site that I got up here, just go facebook.com/group/webdesigncritique and join that group. I will also leave a link below if you're on YouTube. But this group is great. A lot of great feedback. A lot of the designers I consider peers who are very active in it as well. So go ahead and get some great free feedback and join that group. Okay, so this last critique was by Naji Botros. I really hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Botra? I don't know. He is a real estate agent. I asked him if I could use his video for a live critique, and he gracefully accepted. Naji, I will try to be diplomatic in my critique. I've already looked at your site, and I've got some things to go over, so let's do it. Okay, here we are. Let's get this critique started. I'm going to go ahead and go full screen so we can get my ugly face off of here. All right, so first thing I want to just talk about, and I say this with everyone, is you start with your mobile view. That is king. So your mobile view would look something like this. Wait, hold on. Let me get this right. So where's the breakpoint? Yeah, okay, that's good. Your mobile view would look something like this. Yeah, not bad. Looks pretty good. So when you're looking at a site these days, the vast majority of your viewers are going to be mobile viewers. So you take them into account first. This is a relatively recent slant. I'd say over the last couple years, this has kind of been the direction we've gone. So right away, we want to look at what's going on here mobilely. I'm not going to actually pull up my phone because we don't have enough time, and I don't have it set up for streaming. But if you look at all of this, this is kind of what they will be seeing. For the most part, everything looks pretty good. There's just some minor things that I'd like to kind of suggest. First off, this background, I'm not super sure if it appeases like the current styles. I'm going to go ahead and inspect it and pull the background off so you can just get an idea of what that would look like. So let's go ahead and do that. Here it is. Let's just pull it off. Okay, we have a nice white background there. There's a slider issue there. We'll talk about that later. But so now we have this nice white, and you can see already we've kind of increased the feel of like a modernist by quite a bit. It suddenly seems like a much more modern site by just removing that background. Now you can set that up so it just happens on mobile. I tend to favor really minimal design, so I think it probably would be better to not have a background like that, especially because you already have all these images of houses all over the place. So you want to keep it as clear as possible. When you're picking up your phone and you're like looking at it in the sun or something and you see like these tree backs, you really just see noise. So you want to create a situation that will maximize the experience of the viewer. As a side comment right here, we have the phone number. Now it's relevant to say, and I hope you can see this, but if you were to type the number out like this with the parentheses in here, then a lot of the mobile browsers actually won't be able to click and dial that number, meaning like, so right now the way this number is the correct way. You can actually click on that and it will actually call the number straight from your mobile device. Where if you were to make your number look like that with the parentheses around the area code, some devices do, some devices don't. Like, for example, if you push it, sometimes if you're looking at the site on a mobile device, it will not call. So Naji had it right when they used when he used this this format for the phone number. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about sliders in general. I just want to say that sliders up until recently were the bee's knees. They were really great. The conversion rates were across the wall better. You got more often would people call you, more often would you sell your product if you had a slider on your site. Recently with the influx and the increase in mobile devices, we've actually seen that change. So that's been turned on its head. These days, sliders are not a higher conversion rate. No offense to Naji, but especially ones that have broken images like this. Furthermore, sliders tend to bring in a lot of, they're pretty JavaScript heavy, so they tend to increase glitches in site and also increase the amount of updates you need. So, oh, okay. So I already found a glitch that's brought about by this slider. There's a conflict here where this menu, which is not accessible, by the way, like you can't see the bottom of it. This menu here is actually being affected by the JavaScript in the slider. You see how it's moving on its own without me doing anything? Oh, wait, it was doing it. Oh, maybe it's not. Oh, that's okay. But regardless, the bottom line is that sliders bring about a lot of glitches. So if you do have a slider, just realize that you're going to have to increase the maintenance budget on your website in order to keep everything solid. So at this point, sliders are somewhat of a luxury item. Look forward to getting to know your developer very well if you want to have a slider on your site. Furthermore, sometimes with a slider, you don't get as much control over what the viewer sees. Sometimes there's like a specific photo that you really want them to see, and on a mobile device, people will not wait for the slider to pass them by. They're probably going to scroll right past it. Statistically speaking, most of the trials on my specific websites, I actually can keep track of that, and almost no one on a mobile device ever looks at the images on a slider. And if the first image is your best image, it actually might not be showing when the person scrolls past that area, which is something to be wary of because you really want to make sure that that person sees the best image possible. So it might be a better solution to just go ahead and take the best image and put that right in front of them rather than having it be a slider. Even if the experience is slightly different on mobile, you can make it where they'll only see the image if they're on mobile and they'll see a specific image, or you can make it so they can scroll through all the images. Scrolling on a mobile device is very fun. You just kind of flick through, where on your mouse you have to roll your finger all day long, and that might not be as fun. So that's why the experience of a slider might be a little bit different on desktop. But again, I want to emphasize that you want to customize for mobile sites first. I didn't even realize you can't see me. I'm going to go ahead and put my picture back on here so you can see me, so it's not quite as boring. Okay, so let's go ahead and scroll down. Got a break in text here. Minor, but not a huge style issue. Let's go ahead and go down some more. All of this looks great. Really good. You might want to increase font sizes or make them bold to kind of enhance your hierarchy. Bold. Oh, strange. Where did that go? Well, let's do it on this one. H3, font weight. Okay, so you see this is a little bit thicker here than that. That'll help make the person differentiate between what's going on, a little bit easier to understand, give the eye breaks and points to see things. Might consider doing that on all of the headers just to kind of make the hierarchy good. Here we have another slider. This is actually a pretty fun one. Again, I prefer sliders that just will just have everything right on the page for mobile devices, as it's actually not very intuitive to scroll right and left on a website with your mobile device. So it makes more sense just to put those on top of each other, depending on how much you want to do it. And I would just make it at the bottom of the page. Here we got some crime reports, some other stuff, high school districts related to certain areas, all good stuff. But this looks good. I'm good with this. No, nothing off the top of my head is really sticking out with that and telling me not to do it. Okay, here we have an issue. I guarantee it. Okay, so this is about what most mobile devices would look like. And even if they don't, you're going to find some that are thinner than others. So you might want to find a way to make this text smaller so that it fits. We could decrease font size like that, you know, so that it's a little bit smaller, so that on those really small devices, those smaller phones, those iPhone 5s, you can still see all of this information. That's always something to watch out for. This is a little bit scary for me to have that. And I'm just curious. Okay, so this is what comes up. I just searched San Diego, where I used to live. Still the same site. Looks like you're using general database. Yeah, I don't know how mobile friendly all of this stuff is. Might be worth looking at. But it looks pretty good. This header is kind of useless on mobile, so I want to consider getting rid of that. Okay, so we're back here. We got it looking how it used to look. I'm just going to leave it so that we're done. Oh, that's a cool effect. Decrease. Again, we might have an issue here with a mobile device. Let me go and switch to the actual device here, and then we can see what we're dealing with. So I go inspect, then I choose the device. I don't even know. Anyway, I'm not really sure if it's even an issue. I would just be careful for mobile for this part. It might be fine, but it's something to think about. We also have this login appearing in a strange place. I don't know if that's happening on the actual mobile device, but you really don't need a login link anyway for your specific site. The Turnkey, it's a hosting company, so it looks like you had it made through that service. But yeah, just be wary of this. If you wanted to remove this, for example, where can I grab this? Yeah, you could just use some CSS and get rid of it. Or how about this? T0. We can display it. See, that already looks a little bit more clean. So I hope you got something out of this. I just kind of gave you some quick stuff. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think of this site. Tell me what you think you would change. Give me some suggestions. Let's get this discussion rolling. Really appreciate you watching this video. I hope to do more critiques. Again, if you want to critique, go to facebook.com/groups/webdesigncritique and leave something on that group page, and I will critique it. Again, I just want to thank all of you for coming by And I am going to close down this video and say aloha. I got to go to my paddling practice, so I will see you later. Thank you very, very, very much. You guys are awesome. Aloha. And stop.